It's yours truly, Probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Probably Pablo in the Big O Show. Oh, on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping it glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call him and let him know. Culture, Probably Pablo, now introducing the man of the hour, Big O, a.k.a. Orlando Gary. Yeah.
We are ready to rock and roll, yes sir, on a beautiful Friday. Yep, we are working, we are grinding, we are out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. I think, can you get anything else locally? No, I doubt it, right? What are you going to get, some recorded stuff? Stations that no longer have enough money for fill-ins anymore? It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? That's what you got around here, except here. Here we grind. Here we know how to get it done every single day, no matter what goes on. So we'll be out here at Craig Zinn's for a couple of hours. And then, of course, it doesn't stop, baby. We're going to head off over to Hialeah Park, and then we'll be out there from 1 to 4, having some fun, talking some sports. So come on by and join us. We're out here. You know, I was telling you.
Sports talk out there, man.
Yeah. There's actually some, exactly. You know, it's funny because we were talking about this yesterday when John Rouse in the house was mentioning the whole thing about, well, you know, the experts say that the corona will die in the heat. And I was telling him, you can't pay attention to that because we're all inside, right? Well, you know, for the next 2 hours, Bill, or 3, we're pretty corona protected because we are out in the heat.
It's sweltering.
So yeah, we're out here.
This heat, it just grabs you, man.
Yeah,
it has it. We're in its clutches.
Yeah. No doubt. It's humid out here, so we are working hard for you guys out here today.
The only thing you need is a cowboy hat, man, and you'll be ready to rob a train.
Yeah, and we have to have the mask on too. So it's although I don't really have to have a mask on right here where I'm at, out in the open like this, but it's the law. So we will follow the law.
Where is the law? Like, if you're outside in public, you have to have a mask on,
yes,
right? It doesn't matter if you're in public.
Yes.
If you don't have a mask and you're outside, you need to start running, right? I think you're exempt if you're exercising.
I think you might be right, actually.
So if you
might be right.
in a situation where you don't have a mask and you're outside,
right,
and here comes the cops to write you a ticket, just start running. You're exercising.
Yes. Yeah, right, exactly. You're going to have to do that.
Circumvent that.
Yes. Yeah, you're going to have to do something along those lines.
Jumping yaks.
Yes. No doubt about that. Anyway, so if you guys want to get in, of course, you can reach out always on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, I can see Matthew Walker and Omar Lopez already there. Got a few folks already on the chat board. A couple already are chiming in. on the chat board as always, and we appreciate it. I would imagine a lot of people are off today, though. At least those that are working, those that are, blessed to be working. A lot of them are off today because they've made it like a.
Is this a holiday that it's the Friday or does it go to the Monday?
No, they made it today, the holiday, and so it's a long weekend for folks, and it starts today. Except for me and Bill, it'll start at 4:00, but that's all right. That's all good.
4:00 for you, man. It'll be 5:15 by the time I get done.
That's all right. It's all right. It's all good, bro.
We're working, man.
We're
Gotta
blessed.
smile.
We're blessed to be working, man. It's a beautiful thing to be able to do that. So we're out here having some fun. So we'll take you till 4:00, not straight, of course. We'll be here for 2 hours from 9 to 11, and then we'll head off over to Hialeah Park from 1 to 4. Let's see. Yesterday, a new record in the country: 57,236 new cases of COVID. We had 687 deaths. That's up from 676 the day before. We had over 10,000 of those 57,000 cases in Florida. Governor DeSantis, nice job by you, asswipe. Way to go, buddy.
We refuse to be beaten, man.
10,109 cases in Florida. And while the death rate is still unacceptable, one is too many, but 687 is a huge number. And I'm afraid that it's going to get bigger because obviously as you start getting more and more cases, eventually the deaths are going to go up. But the worst part about it is hospitals are now starting to fill up again. Here in Miami-Dade, they opened up the COVID hospital now because of the cases. Some people, you look at the death rate, right, where you're at, and when we were spiking the curve and we were actually bringing it down, you can look at the death rate as something. But now that you look at the cases go up again, it's not just the death rate now. Because of the cases going up, people are getting hospitalized. And so then now that takes up beds, and that starts to fill up hospitals, and that starts to put a strain on the medical community and on the entire, and we'll start getting our medical experts again. Some of them got sick already. Some of them are going to get sick again now, through all of this. So it's just a strain that's absolutely brutal that is happening. An 11-year-old boy died yesterday of COVID. Okay? I mean, and you listen to the doctors now, they're telling you that the age now is much younger now that's coming into the hospital, and they're just as sick, or maybe even worse at times. So, I mean, it's just, I hope that you wear your mask. I hope you're respectful of others. I hope you keep your space. I'm glad that they shut down the beaches because people are too irresponsible. And that's the problem. Those of you that were dying to get out, you went out there and you went out there irresponsibly. And it's pathetic, actually, what's gone on. It's embarrassing, dude. We're an embarrassment to the world. Seriously, we are, as a country, we're an embarrassment to the world. We have more cases than anyone else.
As usual,
we had more cases than Brazil. Brazil has more deaths. They went over 1,100 deaths yesterday. But we're second in deaths, and we're number one in cases. And the deaths are going to start to climb now. That's what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks, I'm afraid, unfortunately, because all these young people that aggressively went out, they're eventually going to give it to older people. Now, some of us, older people, we're kind of smart. We really haven't changed the last couple of months. I'm still doing the same thing I was doing the last couple of months. I'm home all the time. The only time I come out of my hole is to do this and to get some food. That's it. Go to a drive-thru, go to a restaurant, pick up, and come back home. That's the only thing I do. And I'm still at risk. You know what I mean? So it's really crazy, man, to see 10,109 cases yesterday. It just left me floored that we're going to continue to make these mistakes, and we're going to put ourselves in this incredible hole.
We're just irresponsible. We're just irresponsible, man. That's all there. No other way to put it.
No, there isn't. There isn't a.
Left to our own devices, man, we are going to make a muck of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We are we're a disaster. We're not responsible enough to do the right thing here. So it's a shame, man. But anyway, if you guys want to get in, you can reach out to us as always on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. You can reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Also on email. For those of you that want to reach out on email, Orlando at BigORadioshow.com. Big O, time to make the donuts. Have a safe 4th of July. James in the DR. I like it. So, James, you're in the DR. You're making donuts. Dude, it's wrong. You can't do that to people, like, especially me, that I'm a donut freak. You're going to tell me you're going to make donuts right now, and then, I've got a couple of hours here now. I got to think about donuts, and then I've got to go to Hialeah Park, and I'm going to keep thinking about donuts. That's just wrong.
Is there a decent donut there? You know what? You could stop in on 49th and grab a Krispy Kreme right off the Palmetto. That there is a donut shop on the way to the racetrack.
Well, but 49th Street is, yeah.
Right, it's on the other side of Westland Mall.
Yeah. Yeah,
where the Sears Auto Center.
Right.
Right there.
Okay.
I mean, just there's an option. If
Oh.
you need that, if you got to scratch that itch.
Damn.
If you go, you need to grab
my man just
several.
throws donuts at me, and that's just wrong on every level, dude. You know what I mean? It's just wrong, dude. Bromar Smelly is in the house. Not looking good for an NFL season. That sucks. NFL, I give, Bromar, I give it a slight edge. College, I don't think we're going to have at all. Because of, it's also kids, and you're going to put people at risk, and colleges can't do that. The pros, they can take chances because these are pros. And so it's all part of the game. You know what I mean? You're well aware of the risks. You got to assume them. You have the opportunity to do it or not do it, and there's no repercussions. So everybody is at an even level playing field, and there's an understanding. It's kind of like us in life. Whatever jobs we have, we know what the risks are and what we do our jobs. You know what I mean? And so, it's kind of the same thing. It's what are you going to do?
You can almost hear the medical waivers being printed out by the NFL office. Everybody signed. Fans, coaches, players, everybody signed. We're free.
Yep. Robert Triana says, "What's up, Big O? Caught you early this time. Woohoo!" And Triana then sends in a super chat. Thank you, Robert Triana. Appreciate you, my brother. The first super chat of the day. What? Super chat.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way.
They were fantastic.
Super chat. Thank you, Robert. Very strong on your part, my brother. I appreciate you. Let's get into a couple of subjects that we got going on here in the NFL. First of all, the Washington Redskins. Now, this happens to be a major story now because the Washington Redskins, that name has been bandied about as a name that is insulting to Indians, and we're at a point now, and I know that when we talked about the subject a little bit yesterday, that you've heard some Indians even say it's not disrespectful to them. A few have said that it is. The problem is we are now in a different environment in this world now, and especially in our country. more than anything else in our country, because that's what matters right now. It's where we live. And the name with the Redskins, it runs a lot deeper than that, ladies and gentlemen. If you've noticed, every time I talk about Black Lives Matter and I talk about the fight for social injustice, I always talk about other battles that we have, don't we? I always talk about the LGBT community. I always talk about how we've got to treat women equally. You know, I always talk about anti-Semitism. I always talk about whatever it is, okay? There are so many battles that we have.
You try not to leave anybody out, man.
Right, I try.
You're good about that.
I try to do that because I feel like that's part of what we have to do as human beings, is fight for everything that's right, okay? And treating people equally is what's right. Doesn't matter your sexual orientation, doesn't matter your nationality, doesn't matter your color, doesn't matter your sex. None of that ever should matter, not one bit. And so we're at a point now, and I love this, and I think we all should embrace this, that, hey, listen, it's child abuse, we're going after you. It's anti-Semitism, we're going after you. It's hateful acts against minorities like blacks and Asians and Hispanics and you name it, we're going after you. It's derogatory comments. You see what's going on with Dave Portnoy from Barstool, and videos have popped up of him a few years back doing some stuff that was extremely insensitive. And so now he's being held accountable to it. It's not just about the Black Lives Movement. People are now to a point where they're just tired of watching abuse. And they're not going to stand for it anymore. And it's a beautiful thing that's going on in this country, because we actually are starting to give a shit about each other. Okay? And that means a lot. I told you, and I've said it 1,000 times, listen over and over. We got to fight this fight, because the next one's coming, and the next one's coming. And guess what? It's starting with the Redskins. And while the Indian nation isn't standing up collectively from sea to shining sea and every tribe out there saying we need to remove this, guess who's saying it? America is saying it. Okay? A guy that is partnered up with Dan Snyder and owns FedEx is saying, yo, I'm pulling my name off this stadium now. Okay? Nike is saying enough is enough. We're pulling all of the Redskins merchandise off our website. It's not the Indians aren't fighting. And it's not just black people fighting for BLM. It's everybody. It's whites, it's Hispanics, it's Asians, it's everybody. Indians aren't calling to change the name. White people are. Most people that are protesting are not black, they're white. Have you noticed that? That the majority of the protesters are not black. So we've gotten to a point where the line has been drawn in the sand. And when people see abuse of any kind now, they want no part in it, man. And to me, that is a coming of Jesus, as they say, for our country. It's a watershed moment. It's a time that we should be proud. It took us to 2020, you know what I'm saying? But when you start seeing the shooting at that Orlando club, and you start seeing what's going on from Columbine to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, you name it. It doesn't matter what's going. We're tired of hateful acts, and we have gotten to a point now where it's everybody's tired of it. And the people that have been abusive are losing that power. They're also, not only are they losing that power, they are losing the space to do it. Because that's what they had before. He's just a racist. That's who he is. It's not how it's going to go anymore. It's not going to go like that anymore. You threaten somebody like that guy did with a gun, got off, and threatened the black man who was just checking his mail. And guess what? Now you're arrested. It's over, man. It's over, and it's a beautiful thing to watch everybody fight for what's right. Doesn't matter the cause. And I think that we are in a time right now that, you know, it's strange, right? Because it's a really frustrating time. People are losing their jobs, they're losing their careers, they're losing their businesses, they're falling behind on bills, they're frustrated, their kids probably are not learning properly because we suck at teaching. Okay? Think about it. You suck as a teacher, and now you're now you have an incredible respect for a teacher now. You're like, holy crap, how do these people handle 200 kids a day? I can't handle one or two, and they're mine.
Some special individuals, man.
Yeah, that's right. And think about all the frustrations that are going on right now, and yet we're still taking the time to attack hate. That tells you how pissed off America is already. That tells you how frustrated America is with everything going on. You know what I mean? And so I'm really proud of our country right now. I really am, because I'm not proud of the way we've handled the virus, but that's because people are stupid and they've politicized it, and those that politicized it, you ended up on the wrong side of it. You know? And so you took a side that was ignorant, and now we're all paying the price. More Americans will die. We'll suffer more losses in our medical structure. We're going to set our country back even more now because of all of this, because of our ignorance. But at least socially, we're figuring things out. And we're figuring things out that once we get through this financial and this health crisis, our country is going to be a lot better. Because finally, we're understanding what the LGBT community goes through. We're paying attention more to child abuse. We're paying attention more to racism. You know, we're paying attention more to equality. I mean, Maya Moore, God bless her. She's taken 2 years off of her career, one of the greatest players in women's basketball history, college and pros, and she succeeded. She wanted to free a gentleman that she thought was wrongfully accused and has been serving, 20 out of like 50 years. And she got him out. You know, give that woman a Nobel Peace Prize, dude. I mean, she's an angel. She's, a guardian of humanity is what she is. And so I'm just saying that this is a really cool time in our country in some aspects, considering all the adversity that we're going through. I love that our priorities are getting a little better. Okay? Maybe not all of our priorities, because we look at our pandemic, but that's just people being stupid and ignorant, and sadly they're all going to learn the lesson the hard way. And it's kind of like your kids, right? You could give your kids advice over and over and over again, And they're going to look at you and say, yeah, mom, yeah, dad. And then they're going to go out and do whatever the hell they want anyway. You know what I mean? And they're going to either succeed or they're going to fail, and they're going to have to fail on their own. And that's just the way it is. You know, in life, sometimes we have to learn the hard way. And our country is going to have to learn the hard way that in a pandemic, you can't screw around and you can't disrespect it and cast it aside and think that it's going to go away. It'll go away one day. You know, because that's what the president does. It'll go away. It'll be gone.
Oh, we're winning this battle.
Yeah, we're winning. We are Charlie Sheen winning. No doubt about that. William said, it's a shame what's happening to this country. Let's just erase everything. The liberal fascist mindset is doing it. It's so dangerous and anti-American. Oh, yeah. Yeah, wow. Big O, you're saying we're starting to care for each other is not true. The black race doesn't care about the black race. Facts. Well, I just want you to know, William, that you're a racist. Okay? Just want you to know, buddy. Look at me. Glasses off, my face. You're a stinking racist. You're a racist pig. I'm Cuban. Do you think I care about Escorias coming over from Mariel and destroying our country in the 80s? Do you think I care about those scumbags? Let me ask you something. Why should anybody care about criminals, even if it's your own criminal? You think Jewish people like this dude, Harvey Weinstein? How about the guy that ran Enron? I think he was Jewish too. You think Jewish people they care or they want to defend those that are wrong of their own? No, dude. You think Italians are worried about gangsters that happen to be that they're Italian? You're another one of those losers that are talking about black on black crime. Criminals are criminals, but you're a stinking racist because you just point out black criminals. You got me, William Fonticella? You stinking racist? Huh? You got me, buddy? You got it, William? You stinking racist? When you think like that, I know what you are, buddy. I know where your heart is. Blacks don't care about blacks. You moron. Every Cuban's embarrassed of what happened in the 80s when Castro crapped all over us and sent everybody from jail. Moron. Dumbass. William Fonticella. Dude, you're an embarrassment, bro. You're a disgrace. Get the hell off my show. Disgusting pig. And if you want, 15601 Pines Boulevard. Bring your ass over here. Freaking loser. Get lost, William Fonticella.
You know what I do love about the racist? They love to out themselves.
I know. Exactly.
Keep doing it.
Hey,
keep doing it.
Keep doing it, dude. Keep doing it, William Fonticella. Now I know what you are, buddy. Stinking racist. Who gives a crap about that, dude? Nobody cares about the terrible part of their own. Nobody. And we all have it. Every race has it. Every nationality has it. What the hell do we care about that? So, am I supposed to be proud of Jose Canseco? No, I'm not.
White America males get to claim serial killers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, give me a break, dude. So, a white person supposed to freak out about two white people that are killing each other at some trailer park? Or two people killing each other in some barrio, hood, slums, whatever adjective we want to use for our neighborhoods that are obviously disenfranchised. William, dude, you're better off just keeping your mouth shut, brother. You understand? Just shut the hell up. You know why? Because you expose yourself for what you are. 15601 Pines Boulevard. I'll be here till 2 o'clock. Till 11 o'clock. Then I'll be at Hialeah Park 1 to 4. Okay? I'm easy to find, man. I don't go anywhere, and I don't back away from anything. So if you want to find me, William, I'll tell you right to your face that you're a racist. Bring it. Jag off. Big J doing big things. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you on the super chat. Thank you, sir.
What the hell?
Super chat.
That took guts. We need guts.
I told you I can totally...
Super chat.
So you think you got what it takes?
You have no skills.
This is permanent.
Good job.
I'm promoting you.
You got a lot of problems, don't you? Take pride in that.
Blacks don't care about blacks, and I just talked about Maya Moore.
Your timing is impeccable.
Yeah. What have you done for the human race, William Fonticella? Huh? What have you done, buddy? Show me proof of something that you've made our world better. I'd love to know what your contribution is, except run your mouth and run racist remarks out of your mouth. Please tell me. I'd love to know, because it looks to me like you're some slap dick that's done nothing in his life. But you keep running your mouth, racist. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to chime in or rip the racist William Fonticella. Either way, you can do it. Guess you didn't wake up this morning knowing you were going to get exposed, huh, Will? That's how it goes, man. That's what happens, my brother, when you open your mouth and you're freaking ignorant as hell. All right, let's talk about VSS West Pines. We were there on Wednesday, like we always are, having some fun out there with the boys at 12397 Pembroke Road. Largest selection of, whether you're talking about hookahs, you're talking about water pipes, you're talking about CBD, man, they've got an amazing selection. Flowers, tinctures, edibles, women's face masks, CBD topicals, transdermal patches. They've got it all for you, man. That's why I tell you to go over there. They've got the e-juice. For those of you that like your hookahs, you don't want to go to a hookah bar now. So you can actually purchase a hookah pipe there, and they've got all the hookah products. The sashimi, right, is what it's called. They've got it all there for you. So go over there, check it out at 12397 Pembroke Road, and make sure Jose and all the folks, you tell them that Big O sent you. I promise you, they're going to take care of you at VSSWestPines.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Yeah. I like it. William Fontecilla says, I'll go on the show via phone. Big O will agree to a conversation so I can explain how I'm not one bit of a racist at all. I love everyone. I have a big heart and hate crime, period. Are you going to tell me, William, you have black friends? You know, I'm not racist. I got a black friend. Don't you love that one? No, dude, you want to do it, you come in person, bro. Phone. The hell out of here, bro. Weak ass crap. You got balls? Bring it here, bro. Let's go. Face to face. So I can sizzle your ass in person. So, there you go. So if you want to do it, you're going to do it in person. You ain't going to hide. You ain't hiding from me anywhere. Do I hide? Where am I? I'm here every day, bro. For 30 years, I'm here every day. Talking, backing it up, live, everywhere. I'm the only radio show in town, actually. Not even Intercom can do it. I got 4 remotes a week. Hell, they're not even working today. They don't even have money for fill-ins. Okay? So I can be found anywhere at any time. Everybody knows where I'm at. Concerts, you name it, I'm easy to find. You want to bring it? You think you can bring in a discussion? Bring it, but personally. You ain't going to hide behind a little text. You ain't going to hide behind a little phone. You bring it so I can sizzle your ass right here. So if you want to do it, you come down here. Okay? There you go. So enough of your texting, bro. So we don't have to block your ass. I don't need to hear any more talk. Your talk is cheap, my man. I already know where you're coming from. 786-322-1105. I've wasted enough time with that. Anyway, plenty of things to talk about. And, when we talk about time for change in the NFL, things are really changing. And one of the things you guys brought up a while back was the supplemental draft. And the supplemental draft was something that a lot of you kept asking me. And remember, I explained it a couple weeks ago that it's an overrated thing, the supplemental draft, that don't bother even thinking too much about it because, one, remember I reached out to one of my NFL insiders and they said it's not going to happen. They're afraid that there'll be a mass exodus from college because of what's coming with the corona. And I was thinking about this, that after they canceled it, which makes a lot of sense to cancel it, and I don't think college football is going to happen. And at this point, it looks pretty bad for college football. The NFL, slight chance, but college, this whole thing, we might push it back to the spring. Well, and that's why I bring it up, because the NFL informed the clubs they will not conduct a supplemental draft this year. Tom Pelissero reported, per source informed of the decision, under the collective bargaining agreement, the NFL may elect to hold a supplemental draft, but given the current conditions to COVID-19 and after discussions with NFL management, the decision was made not to hold one in 2020. Prospective supplemental draft picks will not be free agents, but can enter the 2021 draft instead. The NFL's supplemental draft allows teams to bid on players who, for various reasons, had their college eligibility affected and did not enter the regular spring draft. Teams bid on the following year's picks on eligible players. The club submits the highest pick. It's granted that player, forfeiting the corresponding pick the coming year in the spring draft. Last year, only one player was selected. That was Jalen Thompson out of Washington State by the Cardinals in the 5th round. In 2018, cornerback Sam Beal was taken by the Giants in the 3rd round, and Adonis Alexander by the Skins in the 6th round. It's really not. Now, you might have had an exodus this year. So think about this. If you have a whole bunch of players, like let's say Travis Etienne, right, a guy that I would love to see in the Dolphin uniform, but it would then end up ruining the following draft the next year because you would have such a mass exodus of players that next year's draft would lose a lot of sizzle. Think about this. If you have no college football season and you have a draft next year, that draft is not going to be nearly as sexy. You know why? You don't know those players nearly as well as you do when they get that extra year that they're really showcased. You're going to know some, but you're not going to have the same kind of knowledge that you normally do because you missed out on an entire year of a performance. So this makes all the sense in the world that they're not holding the supplemental draft. And again, it protects the draft in 2021. And I got to say this, ladies and gentlemen, as Dolphin fans, this is a good thing because the supplemental draft would then put a big burden on your draft the following year, and all the other teams will be available. They will have the same picks you do in the supplemental draft. You only get one per round, right? Well, in the next draft, now no supplemental picks are taken. So whatever 1 or 2, 3, 4 guys that might have gone, they're going to roll over to next year. And Miami has all those draft picks next year. So they have the advantage in the draft, not in the supplemental. So the best thing that happened to the Dolphins was you cancel a supplemental, there's no mass exodus. All those players that would have left are in the 2021 draft available to Miami, who has more picks than most teams. So the supplemental draft this year, the cancellation of it, normally it's not a big thing. But this year, it might have turned out to be something, and it would have hurt the Dolphins. That's what a lot of people don't think about. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize that a supplemental draft would have hurt the Dolphins, not help them. We want the advantage in 2021 in the NFL draft when you got all kinds of picks, when you're picking multiple times in a round and most teams aren't. That, my friends, is how you do it. Okay? See, that's the kind of stuff right there that you're not going to get ever on 560 or 790 because none of them can think that way. You know? Trust me, supplemental draft being canceled, it's a beautiful thing for Miami Dolphins and their fans. Can't wait for Cleveland. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. It's a 24-hour talk show. Let's see. What else do we have here? What do we have? All right. So I guess we got all this stuff going on. All right. Crossed out. We'll just end that. And that way, you know what I do on this show. I just end it. I see the silliness continues, and it's over, bro.
Got a simple solution to that.
Yeah, just block it out and forget about it, and let's get back to the show. Let's get back to talking about some sports. I know there isn't a lot of sports going on, but somehow or another, we find some conversation for you. And I when I thought about this supplemental draft, I thought it was a really cool angle that a lot of people aren't going to be thinking about, and it's something that really benefits the Dolphins. And, anything that benefits the Dolphins makes me happy. That's for damn sure. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always because that's a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter. And what's it called? I was going to say, I don't know if you guys saw this story, and it's a pretty amazing story. F1 billionaire Bernie Ecclestone, okay? Have you ever heard of this guy, Ecclestone, Bernie Ecclestone, the F1 billionaire?
No.
Okay, he's 89 years old, okay? Billionaire. He just fathered a child.
Groucho Marx would be impressed. Even he would be.
89-year-old. His wife is Fabiana Flossi. They've given birth to a son named Ace. He says, I'm so proud, Bernie told the Swiss German news outlet. 44-year-old Fabiana reportedly announced the baby was born Wednesday afternoon at a hospital in Switzerland and insists the birthing process was a breeze. It was also easy. The birth was over 25 minutes, thank God. Ecclestone, by the way, was born in 1930. He has 3 older children from 2 previous marriages. 65-year-old Deborah was his first wife, Evie Bamford, followed by 35-year-old Tamara and 31-year-old Petra, both from his second wife, Slavaka Radic. So my man, he turns 90 in October. Okay? I mean, he is an F1 guy. So he's got some special Formula One sperm or something, bro. I mean, he's 89. And the birth took 25 minutes. Was the kid did he weigh like a pound? Did he just slip through or something? I don't know. I'm just trying to, 89 years old. Did they actually have sex to have that baby? I'm just trying. How does an 89-year-old man have sex? Right? There's no way.
Slow and badly.
Right. Well, hey, listen, the Pointer Sisters always wanted a man with a slow hand. Now, this guy is a Formula One racing, billionaire. You'd figure he'd be riding the fast life here when it comes to sex. But he's got to do it slow. I mean, that guy will throw out his back, his everything. And you can't sit on him because you might crush him.
I was just gonna say, is he gonna do, bouncing on the knee and
I
playing
don't
in
know.
the jungle gym and
I don't know.
going to the
80,
swings?
I don't know. Is he having sex with a walker? I mean, he's 89, close to 90. His birthday's around mine. I'm on October 1st. I don't know exactly what date in October, but I've got 54 right around the corner. But this guy's 89 and still having kids. It's weird, bro. I mean, 89. It's gross too, by the way, right? Any ladies out there think about having sex with an 89-year-old man? That woman's having sex with him going, well, he's a billionaire, he's a billionaire, he's a billionaire, he's a billionaire. Is that what she's saying? 89. I don't know.
I'm set for life. I'm set for life. I'm set for life.
Yes, she is. No doubt about that. Holy moly. 89 years old. And that thing is still working. Wow. Matthew says, it was fun just ripping the guy. He just made it too easy. I apologize. It's sad the kid won't even get to know the dad. I don't know, dude. He's lived. Think about it. He's 89 and he's having a kid. That guy might outlive all of us. He might be having kids at 189. I don't know. Maybe this guy's figured something out that we haven't. Maybe his body is powered by the same thing he powers those Formula One cars. I don't know. He's doing something. I mean, 89 and his sperm still works.
Aren't the F1 cars now electric?
I don't know.
I think they're electric. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Plug it in.
It may be. It could be. I don't know. I don't know, man. You gotta find out what diet this guy has at 89 that either okay, did they get the sperm from him medically? Did he actually have sex and produce it? If he did that, that is super impressive. Because you figure an 89-year-old man trying to have sex, his body will explode. Right? I mean, the woman's 44. She's less than half his age. That's impressive. And I guess the older you get, the faster the birth, right? 25-minute birth. That's like an outpatient thing or something, bro. You just pop in, you shoot the kid out in 25 minutes, you walk out the door like, hey, we're all good. We're home in hours. It's like going to Murias Dental and just getting a cavity filled and then just go home. I fixed my tooth. I produced a kid. Same thing. 89 years old. That's amazing. Robert goes, come on, big old La Bombita. Yeah, but his body is 89, 90 almost. I don't know if he has the body to push La Bombita. You know what I'm saying? I think they extracted it from him.
Are you saying there's not much motion in that ocean?
No. At 89, it's hard to have motion in the ocean. Did you guys see what happened? I forgot if it was in Hollywood or Hallandale or if it was, I don't know, somewhere locally, but two people were in an elevator, right? And the guy's like 74 years old with his wife. And like an 80-something-year-old man tried to walk into the elevator, and the 74-year-old tried to stop him and gave him the two fingers, right? And so the 80-something-year-old guy goes, I thought he was telling me peace. So I was saying peace. The problem is that in that condo thing, they have a rule, only two people in the elevator. So the 74-year-old's trying to stop the 80-something-year-old from getting in the elevator because he's there with his wife. And he's telling him, only two. And the 80-something-year-old, he's probably senile at this point, doesn't understand what two means, and he thinks he's just saying peace. Now, remember, he's in his 80s. So peace to him is like super cool because that was something from the 60s. That was used 60 years ago. So he's thinking, oh, this guy's a hippie like I was. Peace. Yeah, peace, brother. No. 2 people in the elevator. So he pushes the 80-year-old guy, and he's 80-something. He's like 86 or something. The guy trips back and goes right into the back of a table that bruises him. So then they arrest the 74-year-old for assault. But the 74-year-old didn't really mean to assault him. He was just kind of like protecting him and his wife because, my Lord, they're in their 70s and they don't want a third person in the elevator. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to wait. So it really isn't anyone's fault, but it shows you how crazy of a time we are in and how paranoid people have to be. And especially as you get older, you really got to be paranoid. I kind of felt sorry for everybody involved in that situation.
Got to think that this scenario is going to rear its head again because
For sure.
it's going to get more intense as we get further along in this lockdown, right?
Yeah. Matthew Walker just sent me UFC lightweight champ Khabib Nurmagomedov has announced that his dad has passed away from COVID-19. Wow. Damn. This, that's why I laugh when I laugh at people when they think this is the cold. You know what I'm saying? Wow. That's just terrible news, man. If it's true, I would imagine you're not lying, Matthew, because you seem like a pretty straightforward dude here on this show. I'm gonna look it up to make sure that you are correct. But man, if that's true, so sad, man. That's terrible. Did he announce it on Twitter? Let me see if here we go. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Oh man, it's in Russian. His Twitter feed is in Russian, so I can't even understand anything. You speak Russian, dude? You got this? I guess it must be in the news or something. I'll look it up. I'll see if I can find it here, and pass it on to you guys.
UFC's in bed with ESPN, right? Yeah. Yeah. They're hooked up.
Yes. Yeah. There it is. You are correct, sir. UFC star Khabib Nurmagomedov's father dies at the age of 57 from complications from coronavirus in a Moscow hospital after undergoing surgery for a heart attack following the COVID-19 diagnosis. The trainer had been hospitalized in Moscow for weeks after suffering a heart attack following his contraction of COVID-19. His death was announced by Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov, reported by RT with a message which read, "Sad news, reach me, friends. Nurmagomedov has left this world. From all the Chechen people, I offer sincere condolences to the family. He left us behind a good name and raising a worthy generation. Such is the will of Most High, and such is the presidential." Let me see, what is it? "We pray for the Almighty that he forgave his slave and introduced him into the garden of eternal paradise." Okay, all right, well, wow. He fell ill in April with pneumonia-like symptoms, and his condition deteriorated from there. This thing, the worst part about this COVID is that it attacks us all differently. Look at the 11-year-old that died yesterday.
You know what, man? If you have a weakness, that's where it's going.
Yeah, it finds it and it takes it out, man. It's just terrible. Wow. Damn.
She is an evil bitch, man. She don't play.
Wow. Big O, there's an Indian who's 74 years old who gave birth to a healthy baby. Oh, wait a minute. But is the woman 74? That's what you mean, right? You can't mean the man, because it wouldn't be more impressive than the F1 guy. So you've got to be meaning that there's a woman. Okay. Wow. That's amazing. 74. Now, in India, I can believe that, because those people still like eat like fruits and nuts, and they like eat real good food. Like they eat like from the earth, and so those that are fortunate, of course, they
don't have all the carcinogenics and all the
they're not in
free radicals tearing up her body.
No. So I can see somebody from India living a long time and being more healthier and being able to do things that we can't do. I can definitely see that. No doubt about it. Yeah. Wow. 74. That's impressive. That's really impressive. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that's a 24-hour talk show now, as folks are always chiming in there. By the way, as we get ready for this NBA restart next month, or at the end of this month, actually, let's hope so. Did you guys see Zion Williamson? He looked cut up, dude. Wow. That guy spent, apparently John Morant added 12 pounds of muscle during this time off. Zion Williamson trimmed himself down. I mean, he's a big kid, as you know. And you could tell that he had like that baby fat all over his body still and things like that. If you saw him yesterday, I mean, his arms were defined and you could tell that his body was slimmer and all of that. And the maturity, it's not leadership, but the awareness there. That's what I need. The maturity and the awareness that he is the most important person on that team, that he has to be the centerpiece of that team. And he was playing his ass off when he came back. And nobody denies his talent. I don't, at least. The only thing I've always been concerned with is if he's going to be that kid that's going to be a little, just a slightly overweight or possibly headed to be overweight, because that's kind of what we've seen in the past. Guys that kind of eat their way out of the league or eat their way into injuries because their bodies, and I didn't think his body would hold up because he plays with such force. But I tell you, if he's going to now take care of himself this way and cut his body down and get the fat out and make it muscle, maybe that gives him a chance to really extend his career and avoid the injuries that kind of looked that was going to be a part of him. And we've seen it in the past, certain athletes that they were great athletes, but because they didn't take care of themselves, they weren't able to kind of hold up. And I was afraid that with Zion, we're talking about a kid that could possibly eat himself out of the league, keep playing with more and more weight. You've seen those kind of guys, and it never ends well. You're always impressed with how talented they are, but it never ends well because it just gradually gets worse. And what he did in the last couple of months, I got to give him a lot of credit, man. I mean, that's John Morant adding 12 pounds of muscle. That's kind of what you do. He's a skinny kid as it is. So that's what he would have done in the offseason. He treated the last 3 months like it was his offseason, and he's coming back like a second season now in a way. But what Zion did was, okay, I'm changing the way I view my body and how I play. And I think he also looks around and he looks at LeBron James, and he goes, okay, that guy's one of the great players in this league, one of the greatest of all time. And he always looks like he's in amazing shape. And you start to look at some of the great players around the league, and they look like they're in amazing shape. Wait a minute, I want to be one of those guys, but I don't look like I'm in amazing shape. Let me do that. And that's what he did for the last couple of months. I got to say, Really impressed with Zion, man.
Did you see his numbers, man, when he came back?
I don't know. He's a monster.
What was
He
it,
can
like
play.
19 minutes and 23 points, 6 assists, 6 boards, like
The only thing he needs
Man.
the only thing he needs to improve is his outside shot. That's all. That's all he has to do, improve the outside shot, and that can be worked on because he has the skill set for it. It's not like he shoots bricks. He has touch. You can tell he has what you need in order to be an effective shooter. Now he's just got to work on it to get the consistency that he needs from the outside. All right, let's take a break. 1 hour down. We got one more to go. We're coming to you live, of course, from Craig Zinn's. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Come on out here, man. They know how to get it done. Their 12th anniversary is going on right now. 0.9% financing, up to 72 months on every new vehicle. The ILX, the TLX, the RDX, the MDX. The RDX is $299. The MDX is $319. The ILX and the TLX $199. Only $29.99 do it signing plus tax tag and registration, folks. Hey, tell them that Big O sent you. Trust me, they will take care of you at the finest dealership, man. There is no better Acura dealership on the planet than at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Finest dealership in the business, baby. It is Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show.
Hour number 2 here on the program. We take you till 11 out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. We'll have some fun out here. I was, listen, I know I got to do a show every day here, and we talk 3-4 hours sometimes, 4.5 hours sometimes. Sports. And,
today will be 5 at least.
And today will be 5, all right. But I never talk stuff just to throw crap out just to fill in and all that. I try to find something that makes a lot of sense and try to that it's relevant talk, in other words, and that it's not something that I'm reaching for or trying to just create something out of nothing, which happens on television a lot, happens some radio shows do it too. They've got a,
One of the things you love to say is don't force it.
Right.
You always say that, man.
Yeah. And so I'm reading the Herald, and Barry Jackson does a great job of finding nuggets at times and news nuggets and things like that with some of the teams. But here's where it gets ridiculous, and you start to now you're reaching and you're just writing an article to fill space. And he's got this whole 6-pack of Dolphin notes for Thursday. And it says, what's the Dolphins' biggest need entering year 2 of the rebuild? If the Dolphins draft picks Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt pan out, then there won't be a need at tackle. Clearly, upgrades can be made at guard, safety, running back, wide receiver, linebacker, and defensive tackle. But Football Outsiders, the respected metric site, believes edge rusher remains Miami's biggest need, even after the Dolphins added Agba and Lawson, right? And he talks about how they also, drafted the youngsters, Stowbridge and Weaver and all that. Now, let me ask you something. Did you need Football Outsiders to tell you that the Dolphins need an exceptional pass rusher? That they don't have Jason Taylor? Really? Did Football Outsiders or Barry Jackson? The key part of that sentence and that story is the first sentence in the story. What's the Dolphins' biggest need entering year 2 of the rebuild? It's a rebuild. They need everything. Jackson hasn't done anything, so they need a left tackle. Nobody's done anything at right tackle. They need that too. Nobody's done anything at left guard, right guard, center. They need a whole line. Of course they need defensive ends that are super studs. They don't have that. They got a bunch of guys to use as a rotation. I've been telling you that from day one. They didn't acquire any studs at those positions. They acquired solid rotational players. Nobody's done nothing opposite of Devontae Parker at wide receiver. Preston Williams had a nice half season. He's got a lot more to prove. Okay? Nobody's proven to be a stud running back right now for the Dolphins. And they've got 2 guys that have had success in this league that they signed in free agency, but there's no stud. We know that. It's year 2. Not only is it year 2, starting year 2, it's year 2, starting year 2 of a true rebuild too. We're not talking about a half-ass rebuild that you had your defense, you just got rid of a couple of offensive players, and you kind of drafted some young guys, and you gotta develop them to even out with the defensive players. No. You tore this thing down to the bone. So of course you need everything, dude. I can go as far as saying that even though you and I and a lot of people like what Coach Flores has done, he still isn't the guy yet until he does it again. He's only had one good year, and 5-11 is not considered a good year, but considering the talent, it was a great year because he had no talent. They need everything. Chris Greer's only been at this as a GM for a year. He's got to prove it too long term. They need everything, dude. Tua hasn't proven squat. They need a franchise quarterback. We're all hoping Tua's the guy, but he hasn't proven it either. That's when you're writing an article and you're reaching for subjects. And you know what? Instead of writing that article, he could have thought of what I thought of with the compensatory draft and how canceling it actually benefits the Dolphins. Because any of the players that would have been Exodus, now they have to wait till 2021 when Miami has a load of draft picks and an advantage over most teams because they have a load of draft picks. Oh, by the way, I'm not wearing my mask. So that's when I see that story, and that's when he does a great job of finding, little nuggets and stuff like that, news nuggets. But insight like this, that's not insight. That's just you're kind of reaching and you're trying to fill space in a very desperate time where it's tough to fill space. You know what I mean? The supplemental story that I gave you, there's not much to it unless you figure out what I figured out. And then that's your story. But this, Dolphins need everything. I know they don't have Doug Stanfill, and I know they don't have Jason Taylor. I get that, dude. I get it. I know they don't have a great sack artist. They got to get one. We'll see. Maybe Stowbridge becomes that guy. Maybe Weaver becomes that guy. I'm not sure. But they have those guys. They have Van Noy. They have Ogba. They have Lawson. They have a bunch of guys that they're going to use in the rotation. That's kind of what it is. Fresh bodies, and keep rotating them and keep attacking. And situational, too. I think some of these guys are going to help you in certain areas better than others. And that's probably what Flores is working on now. And then once he gets them on the field, he'll see what he is imagining translates to on the field. We'll find out. I find it amazing that in year one, with the amount of quality depth that has been added to this roster, competence in the front office is a beautiful thing. I agree. Big J doing big things. Our O-line can only go up from here. We had a bad line for the longest. I see it getting better from here. I agree. Breaking news. The Finns need some pass rush. Exactly.
Something I hope the Dolphins did to our offensive linemen?
What's that?
Delivered them one-man sleds. Put it in their backyard. Go out there and hit that thing.
NorCal says, puff, puff, please don't give. Listening from the garden. Have a great day, Big O, Bill, and listeners. Fins for life. Get we sponsor a PPV to see Big O throw down. I think, though, he needs to leave his shirt. All right. Texas A&M football program penalized NCAA violations. Jimbo Fisher receives. Oh yeah. He's like on probation for a year for contacting a recruit illegally and all that. If you're not cheating, you're not trying, baby. Isn't that what they say? I think that's how it goes.
I believe that would be Al Davis, correct?
I don't know if it was Al. I forgot.
I think that's an Al Davis. If you're not cheating, you're not fully trying.
I think you might be right. I don't remember exactly, but that definitely is a possibility. That's for sure. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that's a 24-hour talk show when we talk about Twitter there. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Oh, I saw, and it's interesting because, all right, this COVID thing has kind of put a strain on everything going on, right? And one of the things that obviously has put a strain on relationships, it's got to be Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. And as you all know, Rudy contracted corona, gave it to Donovan Mitchell. Donovan is recovered. Now, remember, Rudy Gobert recovered, but he hasn't recovered his taste. He is still struggling with taste after COVID. And so the difference, one guy who took it as a joke and was touching everybody's cameras and all that stuff and didn't know he had it. And because he was, loosey-goosey with it, he gave it to Donovan Mitchell. So following everything that went on, he tells Tim McMahon of ESPN, he says, right now we're good. We're going to go out there ready to hoop. I think the biggest thing that kind of sucked was that it took away from the guys on the team. Took away from the guys on the team what we were trying to do. And Mitchell continued, I really wish that going forward, I think that there will be a primary focus, us gelling as a team. Obviously, Rudy and I had COVID, and whatever happened, happened. But now we're ready to hoop and focus on the team as a whole. And I got to tell you something. Donovan Mitchell is one of the stand-up young men in this league. You can tell he has not recovered from that. And I'm not talking about the COVID. I'm talking about the act from Rudy Gobert. The fact that he was irresponsible about it, it has pissed Donovan Mitchell because the way he says it right now, we're good. We're going out there and ready to hoop. I think the biggest thing is that kind of sucked was that it took away from the guys on the team. And I think that he's, in other words, it seems to me like Donovan Mitchell has forgiven him for public sake, for the sake of the fan base, for the sake of the team. But I don't believe that deep down inside, Donovan Mitchell has actually forgiven Rudy Gobert for this. You can tell that it is something that has stuck with him right now. And so that's why it's interesting to see how you look at the relationship, how will it affect what they do on the court. Now, it shouldn't, okay, because you think about it, there was years ago, the Knicks, back in the early 70s when they won a couple titles, one of the sayings was 12 guys, 12 cabs. They didn't get along, but yet they played great. They won 2 titles. When they had to be on the floor, they were professionals, but they didn't have a lot in common. So the question is, can Rudy Gobert and especially Donovan Mitchell put aside their differences, put aside the whole COVID disaster, and move on in a mature way for the betterment of the team? Donovan Mitchell, I think, is that guy that is going to be able to do that. You know, because he's already shown us in so many ways that he is mature beyond his years. He's a true leader of a franchise. He is a face of a franchise. Rudy Gobert, after watching what went on with COVID, you could tell he's a hell of a talent at what he does, but expendable as a leader, as a face of your franchise. Not because of just one grave mistake. It's because the way he went about that mistake. And that's not the kind of guy that you want being the face of your franchise. Now, and Rudy Gobert also doesn't really fit today's NBA. They make it work there in Utah because they've got to make it work in Utah. See, Utah's not going to have free agents going there. So they're going to have to draft and develop their own. And Rudy Gobert is obviously an exceptional defender and rebounder, so they use him to his strengths: defend, rebound, set picks, all those things, garbage baskets, and then let everybody else, like Mitchell and Joe Ingles and everybody else, with the scoring. You get my drift? So they find a way because they have to in Utah. It's the only way you survive in Utah. You cannot say, well, we'll sign this guy in free agency because people will be lined up to come here. That's not going to happen. You better be great at drafting, and they are. It's like the Pacers. Same thing. Pacers must draft well, must trade well, because they are not going to have free agents lined up to go there. That's why the Cavs are never going to be good again unless they draft well and they're able to keep them together. Okay? Because it was either LeBron and they were good, or they were terrible without LeBron. And why? Because even LeBron couldn't get free agents to go there. In 2010, he couldn't get Wade and Bosh to go there. He had to leave to come to Miami. So it'll be interesting to see how this develops, because they have no choice but to finish out the season together. Will Utah try to make a move with Gobert? It's going to be hard because not a lot of people will be in line to take on Gobert because it's not what goes with today's basketball. See, Bam fits today's basketball. And if Bam ever is able to extend his offense out to the three-point line, oh my Lord. Now we're talking about, forget all-star. Now we're talking he moves up to the superstar category. Bam already plays at an all-star caliber level. He moves that offense out to the three-point line, and he's a superstar. But Rudy Gobert will never be able to do that. That's not his game. So you're not going to be able to just trade him wherever you want. If anybody's interested, it's going to be limited. And you may not even get what you want in return. Because normally what people want is shooting. They're not going to give that up for Gobert. It's not that important because that team would have to say, we are a Gobert away from the title. That's the only way somebody trades for him, unless it's a really stupid team like, I don't know, the Washington Wizards, something like that. They would do something stupid like that. But that's the Wizards. What are you going to do? 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show.
Sitting here thinking about
Follow
it, man.
us there.
You know, two teams that emulate each other and do well considering their lot in life, what they are. Utah, man, and Indiana, they don't have all the resources and everything like that, but 9 times out of 10, man, they're competitive.
Well,
and they get a lot out of what they have.
Because they hit on the draft, dude.
They do a good job.
They hit on the draft.
Both those two are they're
to.
very similar, man.
They have to. They have no choice.
Got to give them, they're
Phoenix now is getting back because they hit on the draft. They're not going to get free agents either.
Yeah. Right.
So that
the days of Kevin Williams and
why do you
Chuck going over there, that's
why do you think Charlotte and Orlando constantly suck? Because they don't do good enough in the draft. Now Orlando hit on a couple guys, so now their team is borderline playoff, but that's because they're not going to get free agents either. So there are certain cities.
Yeah, there aren't people lining up to, hey, man, we want to go there. Let's all go.
Toronto, if it wasn't that Kawhi said, you have to trade me there, and they traded him there because they got DeRozan, but that's the only way Toronto wins the title because they got that guy. And then and Masai has done a great job of drafting.
Oh, but that team totally underachieved until last year breaking through the previous 2 years in the playoffs.
Right.
They were, big time underachievers.
Certain cities, they understand.
You have to do it better than the rest.
Yeah.
And if you don't,
you're not
anywhere.
You're not.
Got to give them props, though, man. Utah and Indiana, man, they get a lot out of what they have. They're like Tampa, the Rays.
Yeah.
The Devil Rays, man, they get all they can out of their team, man. Got to give them props.
Yeah, Josh says, I'd rather keep Mitchell than Gobert. Of course. Well, Josh, that's not even up for debate, bro. I mean, in today's NBA, Gobert is not really – they make it work there because they have to make it work there. They have no choice. You know what I mean? And so they find a way to make it work. And let me tell you something. Quinn, I'm forgetting his first name. I just remembered his second name. Quinn Snyder. That's his first name. Snyder's his second. The head coach. He's exceptional. He's so underrated. I mean, wow. He does a phenomenal job. Really does. The restart has had some players thinking about not coming back, like DeAndre Jordan. Marv Albert is going to sit out the restart. He was asked, and the 79-year-old legend says it's just too risky to travel to Walt Disney World in the bubble environment in Orlando with the pandemic surging, and therefore will not be a part of TNT's on-site coverage. I had second thoughts, he told the Post. Albert told the Post that he got a call from Turner Sports about the move and even joked about his own age. He said to me, maybe this is something you should skip in my age bracket, Albert said while joking. I'd like to point out to you that 79 is the new 78. So there you go. So at least he had a sense of humor about it. And but again, it's you forget how old some of these guys are, and Marv Albert is still doing his thing at 79 years old. We've got an F1 billionaire at 89 having kids, and Marv Albert at 79 still calling games. And I don't blame him for saying, you know what, I'm not going to go to this one this time around. Makes a lot of sense, dude, okay, to kind of stay away from this whole thing. Tell you. A little super chat action. Julius 305.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
Julius says, seems like I'm going to go drop off a Korean baseball cap to Big O and Bill. All right. Well, bring it, bro. That would be funny. We wouldn't watch Korean baseball if our lives depended on it, but we're going to wear Korean baseball hats. All I can say is, Julius, if you're going to get me a Korean baseball hat, I don't know any of the teams. Just get me a logo that looks somewhat cool. And then tell me what it is, because people are going to ask me, what the hell is that? And then I've got to remember what it is.
I was going to say,
I may have to write it down and save it for a while until I remember. It's kind of like when I meet somebody, I don't remember your face, dude. Like, I won't remember your name. I've got to see you like 3-4 times before I actually remember your name. Seriously, I'm terrible with that now. Oh, it is brutal, dude.
The only Asian baseball team that we know would be the Yamashiro Giants.
That's right. Yeah.
That's about the only Asian baseball team. That,
and that's Japanese baseball, right?
Exactly.
That's not even Korean.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know any of the Korean baseball teams. I don't even.
I think the Dinos.
I have no idea.
Because I keep thinking Dino, you know.
It's funny because you run into them on TV, but I switch it so fast that I never even bother to watch it. You know what I mean? Although there have been a couple of times where I stopped just to see how bored Boog Shambi and
you know what I noticed?
I forgot what her name is now, but Jessica.
The softball player, yes.
Yeah.
Does the Sunday night game with A-Rod in that group.
It's just hilarious to see how bored they are calling those games.
You know what? Obviously, because it's sometimes, you go-to, you pop ESPN, bada bing, and 7, 8 o'clock, they still got the Korean baseball game lagging, right?
It's terrible.
Most of the time, man, I got to tell you, it's incredible. They're actually interviewing somebody, and the game is like secondary.
It's secondary,
you know?
Yeah. No, you're right.
Just to show you how into the Korean baseball team even the announcers are.
Well, that's probably because they're seeing the ratings, and they're seeing that the ratings suck. And so they said, oh, wow, people aren't watching the game. Let's just try to talk as much as we can about current baseball, compare it to our baseball, whatever, to try to make Americans, in a way, relate to what's going on through their eyes or something, I guess.
You know what this reminds me of, what you're saying? Do you remember when one of the sports and shows, whatever, was doing the USFL or football thing, and the guy in the middle of it doesn't matter, nobody's watching anyway.
Right. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think it's Euchre. I think it's Bob Euchre that says, it doesn't matter. Nobody's watching anyways. I think it is Euchre in one of those movies he says it. Adam Pinkser, by the way, says, I'll never forget watching a Heat game Marv did back in the late 90s. It was right after the sex scandal he was involved in. Someone held up a sign behind him that said, "Bite me, Marv." See, at that time, Marv Albert would bite women and he still had his teeth. Now he's 89 or 79. Now, if he bites a woman, the teeth stay on her. That's a whole different ballgame.
Remember, Marv's got to get in costume, man. He's got to have the wig on to perpetuate the biting.
Yeah, no, he's 79 now. He might get lockjaw if he bites a woman. He might actually crack his jaw if he bites a woman now at this age. Yeah, I don't know. I think Marv's biting days are over at this point. I think his kinky days are over. You know what I'm saying? So who knows?
Actually, that's why Marv decided to stay home, because then he can be kinky.
That's true. That's true.
If he's in the bubble, he can only be kinky with himself.
Yes. You're right. You're right. All right, let's take a quick break. We're coming to you live, of course, from Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. $1,000 off if you're a military veteran, $1,000 off if you're a first responder. So if you're looking to buy or lease a vehicle, graduates, $500 off. Come on by. 90 days, no payments. And if you don't want to come on in, because obviously DeSantis has done such a fantastic job, we've got over 10,000 cases now in the state, and you want to stay home, you can call it in. You can purchase it all online and through the phone, and they'll deliver the car to you. That way, you can stay COVID-free. You can stay away from folks. So come on down if you want to 15601 Pines Boulevard. Call them. Get a great deal. Tell them that Big O sent you. Larry Schlossberg and company will take care of you at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with zero down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
We're back. And Josh chiming in with a little super chat. Thank you,
What the
Josh.
hell?
Super chat.
That took guts. We need guts.
I told you I can totally...
Super chat.
So you think you got what it takes?
You have no skills.
This is permanent.
Good job.
I'm promoting you.
You got a lot of problems, don't you? Take pride in that.
Love it. Love it. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Josh. He says, you guys are my stress reliever. Thank you guys for doing this. Bless up. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you, man, as always. supporting us here on the show every single day, man. Thank you so much. And we can't say enough, man. By the way, tomorrow they're going to have a little bit of a cookout out here. So, you come by, maybe you get some free food here at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. Remember, Monday night, it will end. $1,000 off for veterans, $1,000 off for first responders, $500 off for graduates, 90 days, no payments. All of that ends Monday night. So if you're thinking about buying or leasing a vehicle, come on out here now, man. Come today, tomorrow, Sunday, maybe even Monday. Come on out here, man, and make sure you tell them that I sent you. Mention our name and give us a little love out there wherever you go. You go to Moody's Dental, mention our name, okay? Wherever it is you go to Toyota of Hollywood, mention our name, all right? EJD Construction, mention our name, folks. You know what I'm saying? You go to Caneswear, mention our name. All of our sponsors, any of our sponsors, you call Nunez Law, mention our name, okay? So make sure you do all of that because that really always helps our program if you're able to visit our sponsors and tell them about us. It's really, really important because I know some of you out there, actually, it's funny. I'll give you a funny story. One of our listeners went to Moody's Dental, and he forgot to mention our name. And the son who was with him listens to the show also. So the son said, "Hey, Dad, you got to tell him that Big O sent you." And so, they were tripping out with all that because it was the kid. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I listen to Big O all the time." And so, so make sure you mention us because it's very important, man. That's a great way of supporting us. Trust me. That may be one of the more important ways of supporting us by telling, by visiting, using, and telling our sponsors that you heard it here. So that's always extremely important. Anyway, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that is one of those 24-hour talk shows. Antonio Brown. So we told you yesterday about the Seattle workout with Russell Wilson. So now Chad Ochocinco tweets out Antonio Brown to sign with Texans, ? Or he put AB to the Texans, and then he put a prayer. That's what he put, not the question mark, a prayer. And so you got Chad. First of all, Chad is from Miami Beach, has no ties to the Texans, didn't play for the Texans last time I remember. I don't think I remember him playing for the Texans. Why would he throw that out there? Because they lost their number one guy. They did sign the guy from the Rams. And Bill O'Brien, although I will say this, for the Texans fans that want Bill O'Brien fired, maybe acquiring Antonio Brown might be the way you do it. I mean, Antonio hasn't gotten a coach fired, right? Tomlin, Belichick, or Gruden have not gotten fired. But because Bill O'Brien has got to be on the brink already with all the stupid decisions he's made in Houston, adding Antonio Brown is kind of a suicidal move. Right? We can change up the words a little bit from the NXS song. Instead of Suicidal Blonde, it's a Suicidal Bill. Not you, Bill. The other Bill. But, I'm just saying, that would be a suicidal move.
That sounds like something he would do because, I think he knows his time is limited, so it really doesn't matter what he does on the way out.
He would make stupid moves. There's no doubt about it, and that's as stupid as it gets right there to sign Antonio Brown.
You might as well bring Chad Ochocinco along,
The funny part is when Chad tweeted that out, the follow-up tweets from Houston fans, they were doing like all kinds of memes, like they were disappointed, pissed off, whatever, frustrated, like what the hell are you talking about? And it's interesting that Antonio Brown, I don't think anybody would argue his talent. I don't think anybody would argue that if you put him on your team, he could help you as a football player. The problem is, what's so obvious is he will hurt you as a human being more than he helps you as a football player. And everybody sees it. It's that after what's happened with the Raiders and then the Patriots, once you screw it up with the Patriots, fans are like, wow, dude, okay, you screwed it up there, then we have no hope. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. And you almost feel like, okay, well, this guy's a lost cause. And now most fans no longer look at this like it's a coup. Like, oh, my Lord, we added Antonio Brown. We added one of the best receivers in the NFL. We're going to be awesome. Raiders fans thought that for a little while. Then they got a dose of reality. Patriots fans thought about it for about 13 minutes. Then they got a dose of reality. And this guy has turned into that cancer. As talented as he is, most fans look at him and say, nope, I don't want any part of this guy on my football team. For every touchdown, he's going to have 3 suspensions. I'm good. I can do without it. And it also, it's not, look, you already ruined last year. I don't think he plays this year anyway. I think the NFL has so many things on their mind right now and trying to get this whole COVID mess straightened out that they can't be worried that much about investigating all the different cases he has. They're probably better off saying, you know what, let's just wait till the courts take their course, and then we'll decide after he's done. I mean, you should get to a point now, if you're the league, where you look at Antonio Brown and say, you're no longer a priority and something that we need to help you to get you in the league and try to assist you. You failed to help yourself on a consistent basis, and you don't put our league in a good position. We need to, you know what, take your time. Now, the other case that I would throw out there is a lot worse, but I would tell you it's also a waste of time, and it's about time that the NFL says enough, and that's the Josh Gordon situation. That's another. That's a guy that at this point, the NFL should say, we've had enough. You've had more than enough chances, which he has. He gets way more chances than you and I ever would in anything in life, and he's had them. He's exercised them. He's failed miserably on all of them. Time to move on. Go straighten out your life. And Antonio Brown has become that guy that nobody pretty much wants. I mean, Chad Ochocinco himself is, when you've got that guy talking about, playing, you got that guy as your cheerleader out there, it's not a good look, man. That's all I got to say. It's not a good look. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. The email, Orlando@BigORadioShow.com. Many ways to reach out to us. You can reach out to us here on the YouTube chat board. Of course, the Super Chat is also another way that folks are constantly reaching out to us, which is always a beautiful thing. Man of 1,005 holds says, why sign him anyway? AB will get suspended for 8 games before he steps on the field. At least, because he's got several cases pending. So I'm with you. There's no doubt that this is a guy that it's just not worth it at this point. No reason to sign him there and add to the headache for your team. All right, 786-322-1105. Did you see this card for LeBron James? Now, I know a lot of us have collected cards in the past when we were younger. Maybe some of you are still collecting cards at an older age, and nothing wrong with that. Hobbies are hobbies, man. whatever your hobby is, more power to you, man. And that's what it's all about. But there's an auction going on right now for an ultra rare signed LeBron James rookie card. It features a piece of his game-worn jersey. The card just passed the $1 million mark on auction. Experts say that the number could double before it's over. So that's $2 million. The card is a 2003-2004 Upper Deck exquisite collection. It's only one of 23 ever produced. The quality of the card is graded at a 9.5 by Beckett, considered gem mint, and the autograph was a perfect 10. The rarity of the card combined with the near-perfect grading makes the item a collector's dream, and rich enthusiasts have already proven they're willing to spend big money to own it. So far, the card has received 22 bids on the Golden Auctions website. The current price, $1,020,000. The bidding started at $150,000, but it racked up in days with more than 2 weeks left in the auction. So they're looking at $2 million now as the target price, where it'll probably close out. The $1 million price, by the way, would make Braun the most expensive modern era card of all time, surpassing Mike Trout's card that sold for $900K. Wow. Okay. And $1 million gavel price right now would make the card the highest selling LeBron James piece ever. Wow. Okay. That is. The auction, by the way, doesn't close till July 18th. So if, I don't know, Bill, it's at $1,020,000. I don't know if you want to bid on it at the moment, you know, if you're interested. Although, wouldn't it be cool that you go onto the website and just put $1,020,001 and just beat that one? You know they're going to beat you, right? But what happens if they don't? What happens if nobody goes over and then you're stuck with it and you don't have that money?
You're going to play James Bond bidding against Kamal?
Yes, for the egg, for the Fabergé egg, right? Is that what it was? Was it the Fabergé egg?
That would be 100% correct, sir.
That's right.
I believe that's Octopussy.
Yes, it is. It is Octopussy. Yes, it is. That is, Octopussy was always one of those bonds, one of my favorites. And it's always one of my favorites because I'm a, warm-blooded man. And I always thought of getting captured and, spending the rest of my life on that island with all the ladies.
Woman's Island, yeah.
Right? It's just one of those things. Although I will say this, they do walk around. They have these little uniforms that do remind me of Dr. Seuss. You got to watch it again, and they have these one pieces that they're wearing, and I swear they look like they belong in a Dr. Seuss cartoon or something. Seriously, you got to check it out if you ever get to see it. But yeah, that's it's kind of growing up, there were a couple places you wanted to get stuck in. And one was on that island in Octopussy, where you're stuck with all the ladies. And the other one, of course, was always Genie in the bottle. Just, close that bottle up and just leave us alone. Just lock me in with Barbara Eden forever. That's kind of the way it was. There you go. Gilligan's Island too, but you needed to kick off the professor and Gilligan and the captain and the Howls, and that got ugly because you would have to kick people out. That's just not fun. See, with Genie, you're just locked up in the bottle, and that's it. It's over. Major can't get to you. It's over. You're good. Revo 13 says diamonds are forever. Jill St. John. Yeah, there you go. Julius 305 goes, going through my cards now. Bye. Julius, if you got that LeBron card, make sure you treat the rest of us to a little lunch or something. You know what I'm saying? All right. Super Boom Shack says the best cards I have is a Marino and Elway rookie card. Nice. I have a Marino rookie card. I don't know. What is a Marino rookie card worth? I haven't even looked that up. I have a Marino rookie card. I have a Ken Griffey rookie card. What else do I have at home? I got several rookie cards. I'm just trying to remember them now. I can't remember them now. But I got a bunch of them. And now I forget. But I do have a bunch of baseball ones. Not really old, because unfortunately, those are the ones that went by the wayside where the old lady threw them out. And my mom just threw out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Retirement funds. That's what we all had when we were playing cards, and we didn't know it. Can you imagine? If we would have bought all those cards and kept them just in packs.
That's exactly what happened to me when I went to store.
Everybody.
I had a huge drawer, thousands and thousands of just collectibles. Undefeated Dolphins 2 times, the 72 team, and all the Super Bowls and playoffs and record breakers, and yeah, gone. Went to Stort and came home, and they were nowhere to be found.
Yeah, crazy, man. I think it's happened to most people. That. By the way, we're going to be at Hialeah Park from 1 to 4, and we got a loaded show. Michelle Kaufman will stop by at 1:30. We'll talk a little Inter with Michelle. At 2 o'clock, Andre Fernandez is going to join us. We'll talk a little Heat, little Miami sports overall with him. He's got a new podcast, so we'll talk about that. Matt Verderam from Fansided. We'll talk a little NFL with him at 3 o'clock. The Hialeah Park Casino manager, Steve Calabro, is going to stop by at 3:30, so we'll talk all things gambling with him. I think he's going to be in good mood because the Dolphins announced also that they're doing with the Giants. And who was it first that said that they were doing this? The Patriots. Actually, they're allowing fans that if you don't want to go to this season, if they allow fans, they will allow you to roll your tickets over for next year so you can hold your seats for next year without attending this year. So that's something really classy. And you got to do that now because there are people that aren't going to want to go to games. I know I can't go to a concert. I can't go to a game. I'm not going to a movie theater. I'm not going anywhere where there's a bunch of people until there's a damn vaccine. I've got 5 stents in my heart, dude. I can't do that.
So no Ozark swimming pool visits for you, man?
I'm not swimming with 400 idiots in the Ozarks. No, I'm not doing that either. I'm not doing that. I want to last a little longer. You know what I'm saying? And this COVID thing finds whatever you have and then finishes your ass out.
Just walk over and dip your foot in the pool.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that pool in the Ozarks for 400 people, I wouldn't go in that pool even without COVID. That thing was disgusting. That was a disgusting display.
Man, it's only a Baby Ruth. It's not, you know.
Call Bill Murray. He'll find it and eat it, which is a beautiful thing. Gotta love that. But no, seriously, but anyway, we will have a loaded show for you from 1 to 4. We'll have all kinds of guests, and we'll be talking all kinds of stuff there on the program. And we're days away now from Inter Miami taking the pitch on Wednesday. So it'll be our first local team to finally play a game. I'm looking forward to that.
It's actually the first sport in North America, right?
A team sport, yes. Yes, you are correct.
5 days away, man.
8 p.m. on Wednesday night. And, of course, you'll be able to hear the broadcast on Inter Miami's website. You make sure you download the Inter Miami app. That way you can listen. I'll be doing the pregame along with 2 other hosts that'll be with me doing the pre, half, and post. I can't tell you the names yet. Can't tell you who's also doing the play-by-play and the color. I know all of that, but I can't, reveal all of that.
It's a secret?
Yeah, it's a secret. Yes. I know who it is because, obviously, I hired them, so I kind of know who it is. So, it's we're kind of putting it all together.
You know the guy you hired?
I know the guys we
Okay.
hired. Yes, the guys that we hired, we know who they are. And so we'll reveal that sometime next week on everything going on. I can't wait, man. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I am concerned because they've had their share of positive tests over there already with the MLS. I am worried that, once you get them in the bubble and keep them in the bubble, I think you'll be fine. It's out of the bubble. That's where I give the NBA a lot of hope. But I worry about any of the sports that have to play outside of a bubble. That's going to be really, really difficult to do. Remember, we are out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura, Pembroke Pines. You see it right there under the board right there on the screen at 15601 Pines Boulevard. Monday night, it ends, okay? They have been giving you 90 days, no payments. Those of you that are military veterans or first responders, $1,000 off towards the purchase or lease of any vehicle. You can also still purchase through your phone, too. If you want to call in and you want to make the purchase online, you can do it all, and they'll deliver the car right to your home. So come on out here to 15601 Pines Boulevard. Through Monday night, you've got that sale going on right now. After Monday night, starting on Tuesday morning, it is off the board. So this is a great opportunity to get $1,000 off. Think about this. If you're a military veteran that is now in school studying nursing and you've graduated, you can get $2,000, $2,500 off your next purchase. Because you can get the $1,000 for being a veteran, $1,000 for being a first responder, and $500 for being a graduate. That's crazy. But if you're only a military veteran, thank you for your service, first of all. Appreciate you maintaining our freedoms. But, of course, the folks out here will give you $1,000 towards the purchase of a new vehicle. So make sure whenever you come on out here, you tell them that Big O sent you, and they will definitely take care of you. All right, we're going to wrap it up here on the show.
First hour and a half is up for their listening pleasure on the podcast.
It's a beautiful thing. We thank, of course, Larry Schlossberg and all the great people out here taking care of us for 10 years now that we've been broadcasting out here at 15601 Pines Boulevard. Come on out here. Make sure you tell them that we sent you, and they will take care of you. We thank Bill and Philippe, as always, getting it done. We thank all of you for tuning in. Our super chatters in the morning, Robert Triana, Big J doing big things, Julius 305, and Josh coming through big time for us.
Wow.
Recent research has shown
Super chat.
makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super chat.
That was perfect.
It's a beautiful thing. We thank, of course, all the great people out there, and thank you for tuning in. We'll be back in a couple of hours, 1 p.m. live from Hialeah Park, loaded with guests. We'll see you then. Y'all be good out there.
O's taking a break. My hair is on fire right now.